Hello. So, we got an interesting next couple of days coming, haven't we? Especially with the combination of the Alderon posting a new video on their channel, and along with then this handy little notification that popped up on my PlayStation. Yeah, it seems that either tomorrow is going to be an absolute nightmare or funny as hell. Or maybe both. Perhaps. One sad part about this little story right here, though, is that, well, it looks like Nintendo's probably going to be back in Switch jail yet again. What can we say? They weren't out of jail very long, were they? And surely they won't have the patch on time, because Nintendo, they just do Nintendo things. But anyway, I've still been pretty obsessed with the chaos of Baldur's Gate 3, especially with scenes like this.
Stinks of cheese between his piggy toes. How dare!
So yeah, whenever I'm not enjoying the chaos of Baldur's Gate 3, I'm enjoying the chaos of just playing Rhamph, and in today's video, it's just a Rhamph duo doing, things that a Rhamph duo would do. Causing pain and misery to anybody that we can. And also, I kind of just wanted to get rid of some footage that I was sitting on before it ended up becoming redundant from an update. In which, well, as you're watching right here, it's pretty much just a baby Picno that's trying to kill me, and this ended up lasting around like 11 minutes. This was actually some of the most fun I've had. Just running around a baby Picno. I'm not even trying to plague it or anything like that, I just pounce it. I, do one blood suck whenever I'm a bit too low, and it eventually runs away because it runs out of food. Anyway, I've blabbled on long enough, and yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Okay, to start off, this one's going to be a little bit mean, I guess you could say. Me and Tara's been running around, we ended up coming across this young Spino in Green Valley, and we thought, why not try to plague it? The only problem with trying to plague any sort of semi-aquatic is that fish are very easy to come by. So yeah, it's just not going to happen, let's be honest. You're not going to be able to plague out a Spino, no matter what size they are, as, well, it's just a semi-aquatic. But Tara did actually tell me that she ended up spotting something pretty interesting, which was a few baby bars.
There's 3 of them. Hey, wanna have a nibble? Oh, not of the bars, I got a fish here. I'm already full. Right, where are these baby bars? Oh, there they are. They need to be plagued. Oh, they're coming! They're coming!
Now, my concern with pouncing these in the first place was actually just because I didn't know what a baby bars ends up starting with in terms of their attacks, and apparently they don't get the front kick just to start off, in which I think they should. Instead, they just get the basic tail attack that ends up actually just doing low damage and high knockback.
Wait, so you're just out healing them? Are you the double health sub? Oh.
And what that means is that pretty much a Rhamph can pounce a baby bars without that front kick, and pretty much any other bars that's trying to use their tail attack on the Rhamph, well, they cannot kill it. It's actually impossible for them to do anything to get rid of me at this point. How unlucky are these bars right here?
Okay, this is very cruel, but also kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a little bit cruel, I can't lie, but that was just easily overtaken by how funny I also found it at the same time. I wouldn't even be angry about them logging on me at this point. It's like, you can't even fault them if they were to just log. That's literally the only thing they could do.
Oh, they're so fast! Just these baby cows! Just their little legs go... Oh, running from the alpha platy as well. Mate, they're gonna starve so quick.
They are definitely already really low food and water, I guarantee, and as they're standing still right now, they're definitely just logging out, and I can't even blame them. But with terror on this one right here, I ended up just jumping off and going to look for the other
Probably.
one.
Yeah, they're logging. Yeah, they're definitely logging.
So there's nothing to really say for this. I mean, I sat on this one until it ended up logging
Oh,
out,
yeah,
and
mine just
then,
logged.
just flying over to the one that Terra was bounced to, and then we sat on that one until it logged out. Honestly, I can't even be angry about them logging, or upset, or anything like that. What are the odds that you log in on a group of 3 baby bars, and then all of a sudden, boom, 2 ramps to completely...
Yeah, it's toxin.
It just... Well, you can't do nothing about it. Not from the fault of Rhamph,
Well,
but it's the fact
yeah,
that,
that was...
it's a juvenile playable that hasn't even gotten any abilities yet, right? That can actually do anything to do anything about it. So for this clip, it starts off with me finding a Barsboldia that's doing something very much in my interest.
Oh no. This Bars is building a nest, I think.
And lo and behold, I spotted it pretty damn easily.
Oh, you poor Bars. You showed where your nest was. Oh, you poor Bars.
Not the greatest place to build a nest, I would say. Sure, they may have a bunch of the materials they need, but it's out in the middle of a field. Sure, there's bushes, but that is not enough. And they were very quick to actually come and defend their nest. They end up laying down on the floor to possibly change their abilities from my guess, but that just gives a nice opening for me to get a little more damage on the nest. Once a Rhamph has found your nest and is persistent enough to be an absolute nuisance until you get rid of it, it's just safe to get rid of the nest. Maybe try somewhere a little more hidden. But this Bars was not alone. They also had a baby.
I've got 2 Bars pissed off at me defending their nest right now in Green Hills.
And that advice that I said earlier, if a Rhamph finds your nest,
Oh, I see. They had to abandon their nest. I made them destroy their nest.
and so I pretty much did what I wanted to do, but there was also a patchy that ended up showing up, which would be a pain if I carried on actually trying to annoy these guys. But hey, I made them destroy their own nest. I can live with that. And so I moved on. And that's where I ended up finding some Tyrannotitans over in Hot Springs. Now, usually I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole, but this is a duo of ramps that we have here, and so I am happy to at least try. So the first step right now is to kind of just follow them into this pass right here, and kind of just gauge their reaction of my following. And with that, I think it's easy to say that they don't appreciate it too much. And after a little bit of back and forth emoting at each other, a little bit of roleplay, a little bit of goofing around, 3 of the Tyrannotitans end up walking off ahead to get more food, while 1 is left straggling behind going after another critter. In which that's going to be my target as, hey, they left themselves alone. And as soon as I ended up hopping on, they completely ignored the critter that was in front of them. Instead, to maybe just rush back to the group. In which they ended up actually showing up, just to give this one a little bit of cover also. But there's only 3 of them here now, meaning that there's 1 up ahead that has gone off alone. So guess what's going to happen? I'm going to switch to that one now. And I find it kind of funny that this one doesn't even bother bucking. And sure, there may be plenty of food in these canyons, as I don't know why, but Desolate Pass always has like tons of critters in it. I'm really just kind of hoping that they don't end up turning around, going back to Hot Springs, and then just drinking the water there, and then eating all the salt rocks until they're all full, and then topping back up with water again until I'm bored. Because, I won't lie, that perfect counter against Rhamph. Just go anywhere with like infinite salt rocks and infinite water.
Okay.
But so long as they don't do that, every time they end up leaving one of these titans alone, I'm gonna go for it. The main key to actually dismantling a Rhamph doing, well, this to you, is pretty much not to panic and just run to your friends. The power of friendship is how you, well, survive a Rhamph. Now here's where Terra was asking me what I was doing.
I'm plaguing some titans.
So all I gotta do is be a little bit patient, and we'll have a second Rhamph to deal with this. Just keep picking whoever has the least amount of protection or is straying away from the group the most. Thanks to Strong Grip, I can actually tank a little bit of damage, especially from something so small as that Titan right there, though they end up doing a bit of friendly fire, which was a little bit funny to me. As for spots to try and plague people out in, I'd say this is pretty good in terms of having good visuals on who you're trying to plague, and then having somewhere safe in order for you to fly to and rest for stamina. They must be full right now, as they ended up leaving a full turtle for me. Although this could have just been an attempt at an ambush, as they didn't seem too happy in me getting a meal off of their effort. Though they've just ran from their group, making them, well, someone that I'd want to actually stack up more Pestilent on. And with each time that I end up hopping on someone and they end up turning around and then I leave to get more stamina, I'm having a lot of fun.
Feel the desperation.
And so they continue moving on through the canyon, while, well, never been too far away. And here I am, feeling ever so blessed every time one of these titans turns around to try and get a bite on me, popping my lucky feather, and pretty much giving themselves 5 minutes of reprieve. Though, they just left themselves as a straggler, and so I could get another 6 stacks of Pestilent up on them. And yes, I know exactly how long I have to stay on someone to get however many stacks of Pestilent. I play way too much Rhamph. I need help.
No, ain't happening.
And so this continues until they hit the entrance of Burnt Forest from this canyon, and I think that maybe if I pounce the, baby Tyrannotitan, maybe they'll get some friendly fire, in which there was. But it seems now that they've split up a little bit, maybe in groups of 2s, as, hey, you're gonna need both of the Rhamphs if you want to plague both of the Titans at that point, as one will always be trying to protect the other. But lo and behold, very good news for me. Terra's here. So now at this point, they seem to have had a little buddy system. Just have someone with you to bite the Rhamph off your side, or at least to, minimize the amount of plague that everyone ends up receiving by just having one Rhamph pounce to one person. I'd say it's a pretty smart move, if there was only one Rhamph. And with them splitting up, I think it's good to give Terra some info.
Well, they've just eaten loads of food in this little canyon here, because there's loads of critters that spawn here. But they're definitely thirsty.
So I've left the fate of these 2 to Terra, while I've gone to go and look for the other 2 Titans.
Right, where's the... Ooh, there's one.
And so I see that they're really just concentrating on trying to get the most amount of quests out of each zone that they go into. So now they're on a time trial. And with me pouncing this one, me and Terra have a little agreement that, hey, you take those 2, and I'll take these 2. And this continues on as these 2 that I'm after end up running towards the beach. And with them being so focused on quests instead of protecting each other, well, they're gonna have to split up if they want to get their quest done, which makes it a lot easier for me to actually pick my target of who I want to plague. And there may be a decent amount of water nearby, but now that leaves them with the problem of food. And while I'm doing my stuff over here, I'm also enjoying the nice little stories of what Terra is telling me that's happening over on her end.
Oh, you got them to bite each other, did you?
And so this ends up carrying on for quite a while. I mean, you've seen Rhamph gameplay for ages, and I want to go over a little bit of, just a little bit of trivia here. Now, if you were to just stack up something up to just max stack, and then just leave it alone for those 50 minutes until it ends up actually losing all of the plague on it, how much more hunger would something have lost if you just let those stacks decay from max for the 50 seconds fully, compared to if it just didn't get plagued in the first place, and you just didn't reapply the stacks whatsoever? Until the stacks fully fell off. Well, now, I did a little bit of math, and it came out to about 2.75 times the amount of food lost compared to if they just didn't get plagued in the first place. Though you do end up actually getting your stamina back way before that ends up actually happening, and, well, you can end up just reapplying it back to max, right? Also, to stay on tune, tell me which tune this is. And so while I've been doing my thing over here, having a grand old time with these titans, doing my thing,
Yeah.
Terra's been telling me that she's been following the other titans, and they seem to have been making a move over towards Big Quill Lake. And so she tells me that they are running directly to the home cave.
You forced him to go to home cave?
Now, let's just say they didn't have to do that. They could have just logged out on Terra whenever they wanted. What's a Rhamph gonna do? We haven't got anyone to keep them in combat from logging, have we? Walking towards the home caves is pretty much doing the exact same thing as just logging on the spot, but with extra steps, quite literally. And so these two are walking towards Hunter's Thicket. I don't really know why at the time. I'm guessing either to make a loop towards Hot Springs, or possibly to do the same as what Terra's Titans did. But one thing I know for sure from watching the replay, the Titan on the right with a white-tipped tail is starting to actually lose health from hunger. And possibly water. I'm not too sure with the water, as they did end up drinking not too long ago.
These two are going to go towards Hot Springs and eat salt, aren't they? Oh, well, there's just infinite water in Hot Springs, so they can.
But with how tight together these two are staying right now, I ended up trying to maybe bait one of them away from the other, and I guess you could say I got a little too comfortable.
Ah, damn it, they got my lucky feather.
That means that they're pretty much safe from me for
It's okay,
about
I can
4.5 minutes, as I do not really want to risk actually just taking one more hit and then just feeding them, undoing a bunch of the work. But thankfully, the titans that Terra was dealing with haven't really left the cave, and, well, she's on her way over here, and all I gotta do is just keep an eye on these two.
Venom and Toxin, okay speed, but it doesn't go up. There is a cap to how much you can put on, and it's not much.
So, they're at least able to top up their water, but this titan right here, I would say has lost about maybe 15% of its health so far from hunger and possibly water, but I think it's mainly just hunger, as they were able to drink in Burnt Forest. But with the evident amount of sprinting, they definitely want to just leave the server as fast as possible right now. Though that's not what I thought at the time.
These two are gonna just eat salt, aren't they?
Nope, they're definitely running towards the cave. They could have made one turn towards Hot Springs and undone all of this work that we've been doing. The entire 20-ish minutes that I've spent plaguing them would have all been undone by simply one turn.
Yeah, they're rushing towards Hunter's Thicket Cave.
But while I'm worrying about this baby aloe, and I'm actually surprised they didn't turn around and maybe just quickly get a quick bite right there, I hear the sound of liberation.
If you want to plague one of them, it's kind of too dangerous for me right now. I don't have lucky feather.
And so she gets to work on it. Now, this titan with the basic skin on the left, doing more plaguing to it, since it's already taking hunger damage at this point, isn't really going to actually do much. Other than, you know, spread plague to the other titan to speed up its food and water drain. Main reason why I say that is because they're already making their way towards the home cave anyway.
The other one's coming.
And so I make one last pounce, since I feel comfortable with how much lucky feather cooldown that I have left. But it's all gotta come to an end here. They end up running up the ramp, and just entering the cave. Which was then also followed up by the second titan to also run up the ramp and enter the cave. And, of course, here's what I have to say about all of that.
Yeah, that's... yeah, that's Rhamph gameplay for you. We spent all that time, and what did we kill? Nothing. Yeah.
But of course, this wouldn't be a real Path of Titans video without at least a little bit of trash talk, right?
Damn you two, Rhamphs. Rhamphs are pretty bad. You Rhamphs are bad. Still had to run to the cave. Yeah.
And now, I want to show you something. And it's going to be 2 clips. So, first, we have this. And then, we have this. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't see the difference. And so here we are at the end. So, as I said at the beginning of the video, I kind of wanted to just get these clips out here before possibly they end up being made redundant by the next update. I don't know how they would, but it's always better just to get it out of the way. I've been kind of very slow with uploads lately, and I guess it's been because I've been waiting for some sort of actual change to a Path of Titans, something to really, you know, shake things up, to actually make something new for us to do, right? As I've said in the past, you can throw as many TLCs at this game as you want until you actually change the gameplay loop. Well, not much is really gonna change, it's just, you know, in-game balance as usual. You're still gonna have the issues with map traffic and mega packs and mix packs until we end up getting those matchmaking changes and all of that good stuff. Well, yeah, not much is really gonna change, and which, even when that does come in, we'll have to see how that goes in terms of people trying to maybe skirt around those mechanics. But we get to that bridge when it comes. Who knows, right? I've just been having way too much fun with Baldur's Gate. I just recently did a Dark Urge run. It was really, really spicy. Spicy in the sense of, whoa, this is way darker than I was really expecting. But hey, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Though sadly, it's not really the kind of game that I would really be able to make a video on, just because of how the game is formatted in general, and also because it's such a min-maxy game. One of those games that, you know, you've really got to crunch numbers, and everything's already been done for it, let's be honest. I'll just stick to Path videos, even though I've been slowing down with them quite a lot. Hunya de lazy, not Hunya de crazy. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. We'll see how this update goes tomorrow. With that out of the way, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye!